word of Yahuwah Elohim. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. If you see what so we are baby at home was you. If you see him, they do Nina, where will I do it? As I say, I have to see what so we are baby at home was better from. If you see him, they do Nina, where will I do it? When this I can get us to road director. Now I bloody woman and master. Then someone from his young Papa. A very many dear. Sakatira Suro director. Now I bloody woman and master. Then someone from his young Papa. A very many dear. I'm very I was so good. I saw. We can break a baby and for us. Samusi wanyangu poni wa afedi awusuni wakakra mosisa demo mumpemra bontinze se ana mumeka mabusu samunwai ai samusi wanyangu poni wa afedi oshekine wakakra mosisa demo mumra bontinze se ana mumeka mabusu samunwai ajani mumra misanyangu poni afedi manidie wa I very many dear. India for sorry, I was in Hindu. I fed the bunny and do the moon for a mabusum one way. India for sorry, I was in Hindu. Natana for so sorry, I was in Buddha. I fed the bunny and bam for a mabusum one way. I found so for a Monte Castle when you're dear to Mono. I found for a TV, so I'm with Manu. Yeah, coronavirus never know. No better solution, maybe I sing it. I would say you are so powerful. That's it. I found so for
yo, it's here for the other fool. Nyamisha Mosamodi can adjourn you and your health, Jumedi. I debia, Cosia debia, yani doctor Edino, and nona and ne, Yamia Mokoya. Yes, sign Abba Abetwaso. Eti freu niebi sa ono so omra meka ye ho na ene dia ye di ho komono a different cra the doctor dia fa no tim say very nice eti bomodia na onso beka ye ho na ye nyina ye ndi djuma no na ene dia na beka no o say I mean the effects racism and the effects on our health ya ye hwe etu tutu akwa na se dia apolisifu yi ebro before ne ensema ekoso no ene doctor beka ho asem na afi ye hu se de baabi a susande body guma na ebefa eti bomodin se o mixe frownia bi se omra meka ye ho ni ase dwumadie na se na omra ne nyina ye ndi dwuma no we a free consultation doctor onji obi eska o de man kwa eti se onya ni free dia na I don't think say o se otena fie bomodin na bra dwumadie ne so Frobi, see ya said you may dinner into also omeka ho na nyina ye ndi dwuma no. Also for questions bra, the one of Fabra, e the numbers ne beto na also do adwentre aba na yekoye nim. Nti momodi ane tamu kuchu na ye said dwumadi na se also wendi beji. Nti me twa me ho aba na makofa doctor na ye di dwumadi no abehyehyɛ so.
Saba manyano wadro Ibola ba manyano wadro Afe coronavirus na banu wa Kristo kwa jimba ibo Pate Ave coronavirus number no Christopher Jimba Bongoa. Abuona Gubano Masam Namudia Sinchanian, Namusu, Ubafamo Wediana.
Dr. Mbachotimenta.
Betonka Padi,
Dr. Betonka, and I'm a camera near close into Uberquetch, and also my camera, and I'll check a crabia mamia. How? It says walk of form.
Okay, it is saying, and I'm inside. The conform the door.
O conform the door, a cherry more, mammy, Manembra kakra. That's right, a kakra. I have to say, I'm a pen.
I have to say, okay. Okay, because we want the iPad listen to. Let me do this.
Meet me now, and I can meet my Justin or her.
I think that. How is that? Still me way to be.
Oh, from Kakra.
Okay. Maybe 1 minute. Now, in fact,
your time, doctor. You were time, say, class 1 teacher. Doctor, I said, oh, but Tom, one as I knew who I has he said, walk of form.
My bachelor.
I was so, but a choice to crack.
Okay.
I can say.
I'm what's in my office, DJ.
Okay.
I think so. The dining room table, now it's this one.
I know more.
And my okay.
When this a kakira suro director, now how gradi woman and master, then someone from his young Kuffour, Ave many dear. Sakakira suro director, now how gradi woman and master, then someone from his young Kuffour, Ave many dear.
No form.
I can't crabby.
Say, still.
As I show you, mommy. I've been a doctor. I said, yeah. Yo, it's your for you, the Yamia dum, where you doctor a man. Eti motamu kuchu mo amodi kan sala mikan no nyame hira mu nyina special menia grace meka akua okay asante kakari mu nyina nyame hira mu komodo mo fra mu ne o maka nyina se omomra na doctor aye ready we de ensem de be mayen enti we we twaso no maja ma doctor na de enne nyame de ama no so odi amayen na afi yakoye nim sala mikan no mu wiana meji consultation fee no e wa ha mo bani nyina yeah eji doctor say automatically dia meja adwumadie na ama na ene wo no
de yo eni abusia fo me da mo ase bebre say anwumre mo aba na ye be check ya pom den ho asem ene de ne be ye different kakra nti ansa na ye be sha asem mo me mo mpae erade da was so ahwe nyina ye so no aboye ho ba bedu sabre. So sebra ye ba be your program you wan kasa ba be di mo hene ye da wase wadomunti amen
amen
and so the best started the mecca quote to be free Dr. Martin Luther King who say injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So say nearby kosu nyina we know say your pandemic meaning say COVID-19 it take you over we are seeing nyina e kum nkrofo bebre yare ahodo e de abano sa yare abano e yare ekum nipa bebre na hwehwemu nyina a kire say research o maye so far any numbers o maye enya so far no e kire say before pa na sa COVID-19 ayeye It is also Maryland ha. Maryland, before what Maryland in the entire state of Maryland, 29.4%. Then so before any coronavirus, no COVID-19, 36%. Before so every COVID-19, 42%. And you can you imagine having a population of 29.4%? Now so no more numbers or more yari anyone more no. Bro nipa cry your friends and we make it up population no. It was a particular state. You heard Virginia, before what Virginia you na 19.7%. Then so before any coronavirus COVID-19 21%. One more we 23%. Now Washington DC cried your broso. The entire Washington DC near 47.1% before the war. Now so 52% of new cases of coronavirus here before. And 75% of Nkrofo were before. Oko New York, the entire state of New York, no. Before 7.3%. When you say any so New York before, New York City before, but you're looking at the entire state of New York, 7.3% of the population a year before. Now so nipa New York City before we are 25%, which is very high. Cases in Crawford still no data and yet clear into your final data of that. See here New Jersey, before New Jersey, you 15%. Now so when ya COVID-19 is 17%. And every COVID-19 19%. And can you imagine say before what Chrome also. Now so cases no also. Nipa no so also. What is going on? It doesn't make any sense. So and even some numbers we cry. I mean, it's the right numbers. There may be more numbers to cry, may be higher than what we are seeing. Until say Yarian Beko from Kakrano. Epidemiologists do hormone crowd, but and your data no correctly every hospitals and clinics and morgues and at the end of the right amount of people at Yarian in terms of before anyone more in terms of before from COVID-19. Now the when they say and before the brain or honoma Dodwana at densely populated area, but Bronica's a densely populated area, no patching. Area ye door so into Nipano F1 so. Into New York City, for example, who's the apartment buildings they door so, and the apartment buildings are on top of each other. And apartment buildings, people maybe 15 floors, 16 floors, 17 floors. Nipa be break this apartment building. Na apartment also so ne kitten get to so sa enu nti ni nipa ne doso enti say yare atigu krom ho akai hu say ebe affect nipa bebre nipa kra wo New York City nkwa no kra wo bo doso wa hwe nipa bebre be ho mo fa train o mo fro bus ebi no ma nante any ade the population is a lot. Efi bebre so ye den e wo New York City as we speak we ni mo amo akọ no menim say mo efi so a esa wo New York City kra sa ka ho
Bronx.
Yes. What side costs so other areas so cry apart from New York City, Chicago, Washington DC, baby before no. Usually neighborhoods and your papa use normal healthcare or and yet the same thing as Brony healthcare where they ubenya. A juma a juma and what form. So and what they found out with COVID-19, they said Nipa don't want to be before don't want to swap hospital no. Or who so could drew they don't really take good care of them. They don't focus on one more cano. And remember my example, about everybody 30 or your teacher in Brooklyn on your COVID-19. COVID-19 in signs and symptoms, so when you're high temperature, so we'll bowa, so we'll when see any idea. So I will not want to be home. She had the clear symptoms and we'll call hospital Brooklyn or go Drew Hospital Honomwa. Omo treating for asthma. Omo but that class on testing for COVID-19, which they should have because you know the symptoms. And you go to emergency room, no be experiences our symptoms. Right? The first thing you do is to test them for COVID-19. One and omo treating for asthma, no more sending a man coffee. Or coffee, still on to me home in home fan and a sister. a fray, a summer ambulance be found. Wouldn't the ambulance for the kind? So your anxiety attack. How can she have an anxiety attack with a temperature, cannot breathe, and all of that? Almost on the oxygen saturation, you're okay. Now, what they found out, they said, COVID-19, or emergency room, oxygen saturation, and on a day, and on a measure oxygen a day, and what would them do air one way they want to make. Now, usually, a free 90% you're very good. ATM so above 90, no, or more, so we say she's fine. But they found out that the oxygen level no good, but still no nipa chrono COVID-19, no suffer from COVID-19. They didn't do anything about it. She ended up dying. Only Arabia or you're healthy, normal everyday person to say me no. Only chronic disease, because the hospital did not take her symptoms seriously. And that's what we've seen. Said they are not taking your symptoms very seriously. And Joe assume so I say you were making it up. A year before asthma, who be before air causes our problem. Then yes, our COVID-19 air causes our problem. No, and noon cinema, and unfortunately, and we've seen it time and time again in so many other things. A bus stroke or crash, a benign stroke near the final emergency room. The brain can only withstand not having oxygen up to 6 minutes. 6 minutes, the brain is going to be damaged. Anything after 6 minutes, so you're playing with death or long-term outcomes, negative outcomes of such stroke. We've seen that before they've had a stroke, they've gone to the hospital. Time is up. 6 minutes went away, and therefore the into the negative effects of stroke. Even might end up in a wheelchair. Even though or not strong anymore. So we're seeing all these health disparities. See, because of health disparities, and they say Bronini bibini entry to we at the cross. And to all bribino bega ya more chain Brunino. I therefore from so I when they say racism. Racism causes diseases will chronic illnesses to say diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, it has to do with that. Because anger, and what you before just because of the way we are treated. And if you have anger for so long, now you are angry, it creates a lot of stress. And as stress builds up in your body, your immune system actually goes down. The way it can work, it goes down. It starts affecting other parts of the body to say your heart, and it will pancreas, and your entire body, everything starts going downhill. Into one area, and you may be within the last month I affected before. And I have to say, I'm very angry. I am very angry, and I'm very annoyed by the system, by the racist system in the United States of America. Why am I angry? Why should it be every time a policeman stops a black person, it has to occur in death? Every time a policeman stops a black person, it has to end up in death. What is going on and why? Are they so afraid of Yang said they have to kill us? Are we such a threat to them that they have to kill us? What is going on? What is going on and why? Why? That's the question I ask every day. Why? Why are you killing all of us? It doesn't matter so you're about or you're Bema. And then we are being falsely accused. And so let's go back to what has happened so far. Going back 2 years. You were Trevor Martin Uye. You were Brown Onusuye. Tamia Rice Onusuye at the hands of police. Brutality, police brutality. Ababa we were Texas. She ended up hanging herself. How do we know the police did not hang her? How do we know they did not do that to her? Says she hanged herself. Why would someone she has a new job, she has a life she's looking forward to, all of a sudden hang herself? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Going back, now no Central Park. Where your bird watch our and the law says that we were cramaya. For cramaya to leash so Ne kura leash no na walking with dog. Bronya ba we don't decide says she's above the law because she has white privilege. So what does she decide to do? To let her dog walk without a leash. Bibini abranche no kokan no afre phone. Wa afre police for say bibini ne threaten no, which was not even true. And because she mentioned a black person's name, said Bibini, the cops were there instantly. Na nyamini edana se say omo ba and then said minim se na branch ni ni wa. E chain omo hu sa some kind no boa. And I was seeing a backlash on Twitter and all of these other places. I think that she's apologizing. The only reason why she's apologizing is because she lost her job. Company no I say they don't tolerate any form of racism. So boom, you're out. And I wish more companies would do that. I hope and pray so a lot of the companies out there will start seeing the racist behaviors of their employees and start making drastic changes. Start getting rid of these racist people in your workplace. And if you do that and you hit them in their pocket, they're going to start misbehaving. And Kentucky, Abrofono Koho, police for broke into on the Manu fee, shot her 8 times, 8 bullets near Kuno. Now the boyfriend more no mobile serving warrant no more set a police attack more plain clothes more busty into fear no. Unfortunately no, it was the wrong house. They went to the wrong address. How can the police department make such a grievous error? Now it's a more walk on money back in kind. Not just a police department, a bit of a bone. Are they in there so police academy no one bone? Now won't you mean kind ABCD, now won't you mean kind 1, 2, 3. Now what you mean call the wrong address. Now we run, now we go shoot you or be 8 times. Now we come ni pakro. Now the boyfriend when he didn't know who it was. Obviously, some me will tour no be bang give me fear. I'm gonna start shooting because me ni pakro will be fear. That is my house. That is my property. That is my sovereign land. So I'm gonna take care of myself. And you also shall see so shoot you. Or shall see so shoot you. I must say watching for attempted murder. Attempted murder? What about police if they should be arrested for murder. They should be sitting in jail as we speak right now. They should be booked. Or when they see a fingerprint, or when they see a trouble picture, they should be tried for murder, not even a murder in the 1st degree, because you made that error. I don't want to fear, and I'm room about the same thing, Texas. Police in eBay our point or claim me or an apartment. And I'm still trying to figure that out because maybe it's your apartment in New York City. Maybe someone ain't me be even my next door, an apartment. Maybe someone ain't me be your own apartment. It's impossible. Maybe someone it will never open it. So how could you possibly say, we don't open anything? It did not open because that was not your apartment. And that should have told you that there's something wrong. You put the key in the door, it opens it immediately. Today you get there and it's not opening it. There's a problem. There's definitely a problem. So that what you do is say you look at the apartment and you look, Obi apartment, maybe it's not apartment in New York City. Obi apartment, it says the apartment number. It is a 9A, a 9A, a 1B, a 1B. So therefore, who say, and your apartment, all you do is you walk away and you find your right apartment and you go in. But unfortunately, for Sabi Binia Branty, Ababa 1 year day, Okukuno, and Unchem, a dear baby, Ahmad Aubrey, Abrantia Kama, or Joggy in the neighborhood. To say my name husband, and Nancy in neighborhood all the time. And if the husband decides to walk in the neighborhood by himself, all of a sudden, a truck pulls in, truck nearby, or 2 rifles, or trunk. Abrantia trying to run away because we need the entire banner. So now once you do boom, 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 said there has been crimes reported in the neighborhood. Wouldn't you said the number of crimes that have been reported in that neighborhood? Can I tell you 1? Just 1. And so almost said there have been crimes reported in the neighborhood. Police department got more records. 1 crime had been committed in that entire neighborhood. In that entire neighborhood. But they felt say, be a vigilante for, so they can have every right. Why? To go and kill that young man. In February. Nobody heard about it until, say, 2 months after, when that video showed up. It's a video now, and they'll be free walking around doing their daily activities. No, obi bounce well, and so nobody's held accountable for it. Now, the last thing I see, actually, I think it trumps it all. Eric Garner, now a branch George Floyd. Uko Police Academy, me busa cops be and sana meba show you swede. Quite sorry, we bring close every day Adventist Church. Almost say Obuko Police Academy, you train you almost says what you will be at. You stay away from the neck up. Because if you go to the neck up, you can kill the person. And Jomo Kasho said always go from the neck down. Never go from the neck up. I didn't when you now call doctor ho. So we call doctor's appointment. Now doctor check you with carotid artery. On finding some you and me arteries to me you also at the same time. Or you say, or we are no you say. Because or this way and me or the way me or be cutting off with circulation. And the brain can only act and withstand no oxygen for 6 minutes. Any time after 6 minutes, though, you're going to cause the brain to shut down. The heart dies and the brain will also die. This police officer knelt on Abrantie Kong for 8 minutes and a few seconds. So he killed him. He wanted to kill him. Because if he did not want to kill him, I can't breathe. No. He should have taken his knee off. And the annoying thing said there were 2 other policemen, all with their knee on this man. And this, so he's been pinned down like an animal. White people do not treat their animals like that. The dogs they have in their homes are like human beings to them. They sleep with them. They kiss them. That is nasty. They hug them. They do stuff with these animals. And my people of Florida or no one cramai renu kuno. Nipa dear unreal. How much more a human being now would do with me a sin a console? You wanted him to die. And until say in Kuffour tiatiemu, in Kuffour protesting, you know, and kawamu he was just going to go about his daily business. A report of what you know, it was a totally different report than what actually took place. In the same record this our video no and kayedi and kiyedi nim the other kind of so $20 a bill. No better no we said $20 the forgery. Or just the fee. What will call the fee and machines will trap your friend and say counterfeit money. Of course not. Or yeah, you your security guard. Someone may have given that $20 to him as a tip for all we know. And one do a quiet so there or the quack target. 80 or convenience store for a police phone. I hope and pray that person will never sleep again until the rest of their lives, until they come to know God. I hope they never sleep. I hope Sana give you or die. Obey who George Floyd would any so. That video will play in their minds until they die, until they give their lives to Jesus. Because if they don't give their lives to Jesus, they're going to see George Floyd on their face every day. Every day on the street, they're going to see him. In their bed, they're going to see him. When they get out into Sahara grocery store, they're going to see George Floyd standing in front of them every day. Because, so be the counterfeit Betadia, all you do know is you report it. That person is not arrested. That's not what the law says. All you do is you report it. There have been people who've taken money to the banker. There were counterfeit in there, whereas they didn't know, or more businesses. They took it, all they did was they counted the money, took out the correct money. They counterfeit, they just reported to the FBI, say, someone brought money, it has counterfeit in it. We don't know where it came from. So the FBI can trace the money and see where the money originally came from to get to Sami Pakrono and then take it from there. $20 bill means someone should die. $20 bill means someone should die. Meaning, this is all creating stress for us. It creates a lot of stress because when you watch the TV, the constant thing you hear and they say, we are thugs. We are thugs. And who is propelling that foolish image saying you're thugs? The leader of this country is saying that we are thugs. Whereas in Charlottesville a brass and Brofono decided to act stupidly and kill people. No, he said they were fine people. How can they be fine people and we be thugs? So we frustrated Obi for so long. So we teach Obi so for so long. The person has no other recourse but to just explode. What we are seeing on the news every day, say since Floyd died, and yet the anger, the frustration, the stress that people have felt for so long, and nothing has been done. People are just exploding. Now some protest here, and police in that. Because what I mean, if you don't make any noise, who's gonna jump? Who's gonna say we should arrest him? So the moment they realize, okay, people are angry. We really need to get this guy. We need to arrest him. But in really, there are 3 other cops who need to be arrested. Especially the no crime, no warfare. I think that he is the one. Injustice. He saw it and he was silent. He could have tapped Papa on the shoulder. Police came up and said, man, you know what? That's okay. Let's stop this. He could have pulled him off. He could have done anything. He could have shot his own partner with the taser. He could have tased his own partner. And it would have been lawful for him to do it because he was killing someone else. But he decided to stand and watch. And that is a crime by itself. And he should be punished for his crime. And swiftly should that be done. Because we're not even talking about this. Video no ebaye no say say ke hono ano akieche no pontentem ye mane bibini police in Gwagon tina car no ko he would have been arrested immediately. So we have a problem. Yawo ye ma wa abrochire. Never ever forget that. Meaning sometimes here in Free Africa no we constantly say na katafo. It is time for us to stop that nonsense. Stop saying that. Because they are Americans and they see them as African Americans and they are black. Meaning, police in each one almost say, hey, maybe I told free Ghana now. Oh, you are Nigerian. Okay, I'll let you go. The policeman only sees black. That's all they see. You are either African American or non-African American. You are black. That's all they see. You are black. So it's time for us to come together as black people. That's what we are. That's what the Americans call us, black people. Whether you are from here or not. In the Caribbean, Africa, where free UK buy we are black. While free Germany buy we are black. Whatever you do, Canada, you are black. Let us forget about saying it's nakatafo when you say nakatafo when you say. Do you know why? Do you know the history behind that, Minianum? Do you know why? You probably don't know. So you just speak because you've not studied the history, because you've not read into the winning the apostle. This is what they do. Almost before neighborhood. Almost hyper police before neighborhood. That's what they do. They hyper police their neighborhood. Uko before neighborhood, police for me not plane, helicopter, so nam ho. SI check you police cameras all over. Wo drive ya, wo drew stop sign, maybe a witch and way that fully was mama ticket. What do you actually was with tail light abu, Masama ticket $25, mama ticket for wait $20, or the tap mama ticket for $80. Nipa Kwanda Juma way no, Sika Wajiano, Esa. Or Juna was okay, Sassican, Mediba 12 and yet, Mediba 3 Triamedica. Miss Alpha Sican put your friend is saying, ticket. No, me to ticket no. I'll eat. And I'll make sure I have a roof over my head. I'll make sure my muscles are well taken care of. That ticket can sit. If you want your ticket now, then they put a warrant out for your arrest and then come and arrest you. Ni aside the wako tu. Okodru also we need bail money. If you need bail money, ni ade natu. Sometimes the bail is about $100. On to me afford $100 bail. Then they end up in the criminal justice system. And so the cycle continues and continues and continues. America, if you have a felony record, won't mean your financial aid in school. Won't mean vote. Your voting rights have been taken away. A lot of things you cannot do. So look at Michael Flynn. Michael Flynn has pled guilty twice. Twice already. And you will be the question in the room. And what can't say you're guilty. Michael Flynn said he's guilty. But you know what? They dropped the charges. Boom. His charges have just evaporated in the air. Why? because he knows Trump. Michael Cohen, yedini tumu. Yamana befi so me 70 time because of COVID-19. So you telling me say before be any prison ho. Awom do omo da ho. Awom de COVID-19 enya wo mo. Me boa because om do omo nye nipa. We know of black people who've been exonerated because they were wrongly convicted. Some of them have spent 30 years in jail, 40 years in jail, 25 years, 50 years. A waste of their time and their lives. Motherfoot, wabefie. You say health concerns. COVID-19, wabefie. What about our black brothers and sisters in jail? Only COVID-19 in y'all, right? Because they're not human beings. They don't see us human. We don't count. After all, we're 3/5 of a man. That's what they say. We're 3/5 of a man. So of course, we don't feel, we don't breathe, we don't do anything like that. Of course not. Of course not. Why not? Okay, do you remember there's racism all the time? And all these stresses compound on us on a daily basis. And our children are at risk. Our children are at risk because Manu facing challenges be brave. Facing challenges be brave. Maybe they don't come home to tell us every day what happens to them. But they face a lot of challenges. You can see some anxiety on that child. And with what has happened so far, may you sure say, some of our children are questioning us. They're probably asking us questions. Mekaisa Trump winning elections, you know what happened? Me niece about her. I feel like it's why she's about 7. Obusari said, does it mean we all have to go back to Ghana? And this child was born in this country. She was born here in the United States of America. I said, does it mean we have to go back to Ghana? Because that's what Trump was saying. That's what he was preaching. And she believes it. What can we do? We can do a lot. Mental health is a problem. Some of us cannot sleep. We are angry. We are wondering, what can we do? We are seeing these images on TV every day. The first thing, may assure someone you are with census letter to complete your census. Mama ya mwa doing say emphasis be any so. Misramo sa census package near diabano. Complete your census package. If we say no, I will determine resources we counting the bedding when it comes to health care, when it comes to funding the hospitals, funding the schools. So one complete census now, and near who said because you or your household or other people did not complete the census, you are going to lose. Mr. Mon complete census no. Dear Tosum you know. One went to Maryland had the minimum about Virginia and the other states. One went to Maryland had it. Ya send them vote a yabra ballot. It has been sent to you via mail. Completely. Now send it back because you can vote via mail. The deadline is the 2nd of June. Please, your vote counts. But when you want to say your vote does not count, your vote counts. And before a Drew say, especially you're quite sorry no. Yeah, so well, we cannot mix church with politics. Hello, welcome to the real world. Yes, you can mix church with politics. Because at the end of the day, if you are not sitting at the table helping to make policies, you are on the meal, you are on the plate that they're eating. Because people will make policies that will affect you negatively. Vote. Your vote counts. You have to join a lot of organizations. NAACP, a organization for Black people. You can join. One more civil rights attorneys in case the BBC, they can help you out. One more prominent people want to join this NAACP. Or more funding to help out if need be. You can join. And Black Lives Matter. That's another organization that's out there. You can also join. Urban League, you can also join. You can donate to these organizations. So sometimes we think so, your bonfire, all will be well. African proverb will say, if you pray, move your feet. So what vampire na ujina faakon. So Nyankopon himself is just going to cause thunder to come down and take care of things. I mean, you know, it's not true. Bra David, of course, Goliath, you know. David did not just stand there and say, although David said, oh no, he comes in the name of the Lord, you know. David did not stand there waiting for God, for himself, you know, to come down and kill Goliath. David had to do. There was an action of 5 stones, you know, or 2 stones, you know, and a ball Goliath, the moment. So, of course, God is the one who killed Goliath, but David had to move. We have to move. And Safu Bebre, who was Sika da bank. Sika da bank, it's not yes, Suba Sika na she, and paper, and Vasobi and so. People are hungry as we speak. Take that money, go buy food. Munjira wa sorry anymore. Make announcements, put food in bags, call people, drive by, come and get the food. And they depend on school lunches. Sabre, you know, the schools are closed down. These children are going hungry. How can the church best help? And you can actually write to your legislators and say, we want to have a meeting with all of you and talk about what is going on and see how best you all can help us. You know, your Congress representatives. You know, your senators. Bug their phone. Make sure some phones are more friendly. When your mobile phone was half in that lines, the one jamming lines up. Copy time on one because I say, you know what? We need to listen to these people. Tell them, say, I am not voting for you next year. Me maka just tell Hoya, say I'm done with him. Me voting man this year. Aba we bibi ni aba be friend Michaela. Me voting am Michaela. Stanley Hoya is not getting my vote. My husband did the same thing. Also voting my Michaela. He say we'll lose 2 votes because Oba and Brunino, you would your why. So you know what? We are done with him. Stop prostituting your votes to these white folk. Stop prostituting your votes to these white folk. Tell them, so we are done. We're not going to prostitute our votes anymore. We're going to give our votes to someone else because you all are not doing your work. We didn't send you there to sit over there and play politics and play games with our votes, play games with our lives. It's not going to happen. Make sure, say, judiciary system, though, it's being changed. Idea say local elections no local elections no this is city council person, school board chairperson, more local judges ni idea no. Sa elections they draw. Really read about those people you're going to vote for. Find out more about them and then you vote. So person protest here, you have to protest there. Judges no a court so one. School board any idea. For when they make decisions they affect woman school. They are deciding how your children are taught. They are deciding the class sizes. Uko broni neighborhood class sizes near Kitwebi. Uko before neighborhood class sizes near the Esho. Why? Because we're not putting the right people as school board chair people. Yay, Asafomana can run for school board chair. School honor. You start running. You start running for school board chair. You start running. You be that school board chair so that you can make a decision that can affect the next Ghanaian, the next Nigerian, the next Ethiopian, the next Kenyan. You sit on that board. And now you become a member of the board. You become a council person. You become a member of the council. You are making those decisions for what counties. Why are we sitting back? Because you say, oh, Asafono politics, the enco. You catch your master, don't go into law. Okoya attorney, ya ube tantrum. Okoya attorney, ya ube tantrum that day. So you see when you are saying, and you attorney crown up Gafano. Let's all buy your attorney, no represent you. Don't you save a lot of money in the long run? You catch your master, oh, Kokoya doctor, Kokoya way. As you can't say, you can be a political scientist. You can do political science. Because you will learn about the politics of the country and you can make a change in terms of policies that are going on. Why don't we tell our children to do that? You can be a historian, learn about the history of America. Look at lynching. Lynching, almost lynching Kuffour, it was a sport. America for they hang people on trees. And it was black people that they hang. Now they do yet. Or one point I saw you no call lynching event. Ain't here lynching hanging if I cry no what you trap pictures, don't be a postcard. No, I send the postcards up throughout the United States. So lynching was a sport. But a deadly sport for that. Think about it. And to them it's okay. White evangelicals that you are sitting out there, I'm sure some of you are listening. It is time for you to stand up for your black brothers and sisters. It is time. This has no place. This has no place. The anger that you're seeing, the things that are being destroyed, it's because our white brothers and sisters have decided, say, fire you. So it is time. Before, it is time for us to come together. Most our brothers are always together. No matter what, the white man will still stick with your brother or your sister. And can't you see Trump? All that he's doing. Mitch McConnell is afraid to speak against him. He still sticks with him. Now, before the idea, public, you can go to your brother and discuss that issue and solve it. Now, we'll solve it where you stand by your brother. Just as a back, Obi be catch also buy you BB. Now, only the back on the back kitchen you stand up for your children. Let's stand up for each other. Let everyone see everyone else's child as theirs. We are one people. If black people will come together, we'll be stronger than ever. Brony be to be penetrating. We can help our children to be successful. It is time. Now outlining what to do. We need to do that. We need to help each other. Because the anger that is in us will cause diseases over time. Before I had high risk of getting diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and a high blood pressure, and asthma. And I say, because we are living conditions, and yet we are angry. Even maternal mortality, who say, Bibinino over the highest level of education. Nanso so maternal mortality is high. Infant mortality is still high. It's the stresses that we go through. The way we are treated when we go to see our healthcare providers. They don't take us seriously. So we'll push doctor no. And you may be have you noticed when you go to your doctor for annual visit? Now we'll catch and say, I want this, because you know it's not necessary. Just a walk catch and say, it is necessary. That's my insurance. You remember? I do have insurance. My insurance is paying. It is necessary. You go ahead and you do it. You have to push them. You have to push them. So we are constantly pushing. We are constantly always asking and fighting and pushing to get to a place. But that should not be the case. That should not be the case. There's a lot we can do. You have to vote. Complete the census. The census the ballot bios you na Mako school no say school ni trauma see a parent teacher association you have to go. Say school ni FRAMO say ye meeting with school you have to go. Do not take things lightly at all, me pamocho, because our health, our lives, our children's lives are at risk. Especially one before Memano, their lives are at risk. It doesn't matter. A foot 2 hour remember will battle. So who police in here found say go and chain, who police in here be it doesn't work. Yeah, who say it doesn't work? Because they can still kill you if they want to. They can still kill you if they want to. Let us bring about change. We can only do that by being at the table and not being on the menu. DJ Manuesi, when you say I'm very angry today.
Doctor, Yedasi, and Nadia, Doctor, the wolf, Tifo, Doctor, hi, Nadia, the wolf, Nancy, Before 14. Doctor, what's your way about when you're why may I make Sibi the questions are minion on the health side, one found my the effector, Emma. I just want the questions to be short in tea. The effector racism and the man, one can't one say.
It's race effect racism is having on our health.
That's
and
right.
It's causing our immune system. It is our racism, if you constantly discriminate against you. That's what I'm talking about. Constantly being discriminated against them. It causes stresses. And as your stress level goes up, your immune system goes down. And therefore, you are more susceptible to diseases, to high blood pressure, any diabetes, any other chronic illnesses. Because our brain, your body is heightened. So, and all the time, it works well, no problems. Now, if you have stomach problems, a lot of stomach issues, any heart problems. So that effect, the racism causes stress, and stress decreases the immune system. And when that happens, your body is more susceptible to diseases.
Doctor, Edasi. I tell for Sarah and names here when you put more away line. So, with the numbers in out to 703 5652360 and 703-445-5220. Now the last one is 703-5652360. Emubia ubetimi afre. Mema Dr. Pep Brace Bino. Na men take advantage and we say amount for my joining e wo dwumadi ani so nyina quick. And let me take advantage. Obapa mami wisu awoso. Efie nima onso so wa joining and Efie nima Rosina Gezi. Menia Henry Otibo also so and Mr. Samuel Amponsa onso so wabaso. Margaret Boateng, Abrenimo, Mercy Nyako, Dr. Kunde Graves. Doctor, welcome to the show. Sarah Ochi also was JT Nimakon, Sarah Ochi, Kwame G. Blessing, DJ Mickey, also Mwakwaba, Evelyn Chan, Miniaba, Terry, you are welcome to. Piki, I have one so I'm saying, and I don't form was on the dorsum. Asante Kakari Amo Champon, Ekuya, Ufuriwa, somewhere from Pong, Connie, and then a Chan, a Joe Brown, okay, Aquasia Jemai, Wisdom, Grace, Minka, Rebecca, Awuni, Blessing, okay, Yamicha Moma joining in as time goes on, Nimbabaso, Minia, Rikwasi, okay, hi, watching you live from Manchester, all the way from Manchester. Jamisha said my journey so usually your program here in Kosi basically a health. Nene the doctor assistant kakra duty and yoma air cosono and yoma be broad mountain say ye messy it's doctor taking advantage and you go through. It is a doctor church media and say questions in the before why do the beba so me the bema doctor na wa answer my doctor so temenka. Okay, doctor, sad we say what can was me affect your health. A long time from Martin Luther King as small okay. Why say up to this time before you enter me fighting Emma side you enjoy?
Yo, ain't problem pie what I said before you enter me Emma Sani Emma way say already me can say. And ya idea no you walk to me baby. Sabria before social congress a cry before one day and also. Or rest before one day and also. So we shall cry the highest we become no American president. That's why American president took our by Republicans tied his hands behind his back. Yes. And here my Papa panel wanted to do. And so still no they just pushed it back. Only or council or nominated Supreme Court judge. Why should the Mitch McConnell hold the Aquay hostage? Army hearings. Copim said Trump. Ebe drew so. And and Aquane party. Na fe nipa so a ye didn't go see Supreme Court no. Obi a wo no monsa. Na wo repeat and ba and ye didn't go to. Because that's the same person that you want in leadership right now. The president no also no into of course the birds of the same feather flock together. And Mera so see encourage ye Manu. And Mera so see encourage ye Manu to get into these positions. And Maraso say, Yanka, we start running for these positions. If we say, so who wouldn't you want your policy? Who wouldn't you policy cry? Yatro at all. Wouldn't you be one to say, I shall say, policy? I say, and Marawe, Abba, into your someone in our way, they would do so. Now, so what to 1 year your policy now? Who would you who will be before no? Into which we can say, this is not going to work. The NTN Juman, who question out of facts. Say. That way, the right policy can be put into place. I feel so about funding cry for various projects any near me one area. So what wouldn't you want? Wouldn't be a coso? Wouldn't you so much higher town halls of Iowa counties, various counties? Meaning city Ghana need be anyone, Africa need be anyone, or no town hall of Quebec. So Rebecca cry, you pack a crab because our town hall meeting. So at me, our town hall meeting, and they determine the things that are happening in your county. So one your voice is not heard. And now there will be any more concerns. Any other more concerns to say street now what is on cars they speed to do. The traffic lights to protect the children in your neighborhood. But how are they going to know some more concern on that particular street? Or be any therefore no almost almost If we say we're concerned, it's not heard. Until we need to start getting involved. Until I make sure say you have to join some organizations. NWSCP, Black Lives Matter. Mon join Urban League. You don't know who they are. Go and read about them. Say NWSCP and say people had to die. Say we can walk on the same street as a white person. People had to die. It is time for us to say akatapo. We should join forces together with them, and we will be successful.
Wow. Dr. That's it. Dr. Wednesday, I'll say thank you, Doctor, for educating us. I'm really enjoying the program. But the question is, most of the black people don't want to join all those things that you're talking about, the town hall and then the counties and all that stuff. How can we push our people to join those groups?
So that's where the church comes into play. We only take care of the in, right? Mm-hmm. The people in the church. We forget about what is on the outside. And so this is where the church comes in. Sorry, no, because this is where you start using that. Into now the same time vote nearby what vote as I ballot over mainly bro, but what the you census step by and who take care of census. Oh, why now? But what do you know? Who complete two census now? Say the beba, say the beba, say the beba. Who vote here? A quite say the beba. Town hall meeting and you can't see a brother. But what the other bro? You better decide that way. It's a fro the day before a Cairo. And then I'll mess out for a while day. A Cairo said to be our bitch be about. The good news is a million. When he says I read it, town hall meetings they are virtual. It won't mean that some will quit you meant to go to me. So we'll make to me a virtual meetings from now on, and you can be part of it, and you can be part of that voting system. And you opportunities weighing in our hall. You just have to tell people. When you so people are on tiasi on yes idea. But until people come to learn and to understand, that's the only way they'll make a difference. It's a wants to educate the next person. Now educate the next person. When you need account, no also educate the next person. No be so account. The next thing you know, you have a whole lot of people following and a whole lot of people moving forward towards this particular goal.
Wow, Doctor, that's it. Doctor, what you say, Doctor, thank you so much. Thank you for the education. And never thought about all these things and never joined all this. Now I'm getting the idea. I thought it was only for the Americans. So we need to do okay. Doctor, on the say, hey, almost the anti or say come echo. Doctor, another question I was say, I say okay, when we from retreat, I say blacks are issue to on police for any issue to on families, like their immediate families, brothers and sisters. How is it going to impact them on their health?
Yeah. And so if you're constantly being under stress, aggression, back me tell you cry, it just really got to me. And it me can't remember the FLOYD. A 21-year-old to be a police for the tour is seen so ni fear anymore. No more get down. No we see a police for over 20 as around the apadana. No we no catch up and say stand up. I is so sorry. I branch is so sorry. I didn't say because Osro or sorry pa and crowd no reading it down with bullets.
Yeah.
So he was lying down. And then I down for all recording I didn't catch a police for say he's only 21 years old. He's afraid to stand up because if he stands up, you all will shoot him. So he's not gonna stand up. And I about when you know what CNTM catch our branch and they said, don't stand up, stay on the ground because they will kill you. Now what they will abrewa cracking. The pink nightgown, commotion or piaba bunting, abeshe. Na mini pie na police in na kwaku piano mami abrewa atiafi. Look at how much stress all of a sudden. Whoever you are, I am Shishiakra and Kwano can even cause death at that immediate moment. Abrewano, ye piano to Triniano, Obetumi Crew, the Tibet to me abohono, the Tibo Honest Upra, now when Wukra, Abian Wakapunya brain injuries. Affected, negatively impacted the health of this woman. Abrantian what that from no more tietiemuno. all of a sudden, no, or best sorry, everything goes away, no, mentally, no, it has negatively affected him mentally. Sabre na kwalano, he will have anxiety problems. E who be ba be or kwa pontikra no who police for the yembe sheno. Nini na ne because we immune system need to go down. So the negative impact is having on these families, the anger, the fear, the depression, the mental health problems, the other chronic diseases, especially high blood pressure. Because keep in mind, they say the family gets angry, the family gets stressed out. Into your bedroom, blood pressure, that becomes part of you. Now you end up with high blood pressure. Now we need from the very beginning. So those are some of the negative effects it can have on these families.
Wow, Doctor, Ida say Nanampo all the way from South Africa, which also was joining so Kobia Godfred also so Yamisha so was joining. I hope say old girl and no Jumedian echo so BBI okay. Doctor, where should you say, Doctor, you said we need to help each other, but looking at the way things are, the white people have ionic bond, the black people have covalent bond. How can we change ours to the ionic bond?
Yo, into once again, who say me shasia can say, and won't say who say before you no, we are divided. But you know who is under the division?
Yes.
I think say we only look at the surface. We don't look deeper into what is going on beneath. Abrofo and they are underneath side division. No? Because keep in mind, we end up with this idea, say, Black Americans say, yeah, papa. Who is behind that? Eya Broni, uwo krom Ghana no. Broni no kaneno teteno. Before Broni did demarcations, to countries, we all lived in peace, right? You could travel from place to place and come without a problem. It's now we name so we are Ghana ni, and now we name so we Nigeria ni. Because that line beyond separating more. You knew some people lived on this side, right?
Yes.
You lived, some other people lived on this side, but you could travel and come back to your home, which was not a problem. But when the white man came to Africa, or and say, "Oh, more national, right? What will you wait? What's what you say? What's what you say? If you're Rwanda, look at Rwanda. To me, I tell you, say, "What movie you tutu? Some way you put you some one, monomo what? When you momo come up, monomo you say." Now, can you imagine? Say, "Obi on the year, ebi omo free different tribes are worrying no. A drew sent to Pane Kono. Now, when they join the kuna, now we join the year, and now bet me a kum you kuna no bet me a kum the year." Because Brunini be catching us away a better channel. Ain't a causing commotion, causing all of this. They say we need to realize, say, when why you for too long, it is time to break free from our bonds now. It is time to break free. It is time for us to let loose and say, we are tired of you all. How can we bring ourselves together? And I may catch up organizations that obey to me and join me. And I may catch up and say, wouldn't you know more question? Catch up and say, these are some of the things they bet to me. I bet to be a boy in Ara. It's moving into Sana Mono. So if each one reach one. So why now for now, friend, now catch and say, me as I say, say, Matthew. Give examples of how a brofana and near me to me abrofo give away wealth to their children. Before they will give debt to our children. Right? Bronini him say, you know what? Me bano is secure in life. You okay? Before we bring ne back it one crana one no. Or junior college instead of investing in a 529 plan. Said the baby Drew and the Banabeko College now was Sikano. Obi Fremedano, or junior was sent a banner any or college or veggie student loans. Now, so no say student loans near Tiaka, right? Apolani will school Tiaka, and our parents, what would you student loan? You're gonna pay for your child's student loan someday when that child graduates. That's the reality of the matter. I didn't I won't for Sikanto 529 account. Would you say $25 a crop for Tumbusumi Bia? Said ye be ya wo planning towards a planning future. A bedroom one. Na sikana konenim. A compound akwanenim. Now, akwala school fees what year free. It is abre wo ba no wo ye secure. Anameboa akwala ye financially secure. Or you financially secure. We don't do all of these things. It is time. Sabri aye educating mo no mesremo. Mo be taking advantage. So would we are when you and I can't stand black people, especially Africans. They say, Obi idea they say trimu. For years and years and years and years, no live back ayaka.
Oh yeah.
What is this foolishness? What is this foolishness? Why are you holding a grudge against your brother or sister? Exactly where will it get you? But it's someone in Casanintino. It is time for us to let go. It is time for us to let go. I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it again. It is time for us to let go. See, I'll let you go. I brought for the bedi and so free. I could see
Doctor, me that say, and no one my sampa. Minia Kobe Cass, me chow baby, I will be a Michia on the way. Unfortunately, we were better at the end. It's the Viana Yamano. So I enjoy America, no, but all the same, on time kuchu, Corona Nibicum, no, I enjoy. Mammy Lucy, I'm watching for was so much baby, will be a Mammy Rebecca Wilson, when you have a Chiamo baby movie. Doctor, another thing, obviously, or share an experience, it be happen to ni brother. It's anytime be a obehu police car and not panic. It look like say adieno like a threaten to all the time. What are the other means? And I say, what kind of advice and obetimenya is adieno free trip.
Yo, into the American says adieno on counseling to deal with what has happened in the past. Once again, yeah, before we don't believe in counseling. They say if I want to cry, sorry, cry, then counseling, cry, all kind of because I say, and then I will come in Yanko to be a BBA. When Yanko to be a BBA, and Cousin Yanko to be a BBA, maybe Yanko just as would Yanko. However, no, and near maybe a whole Yanko so I'm a nippy being young Sania Punch, Robert school. Into Wokwa, if I want to be a guide through our whole process, the Senator, you'll be able to deal with that anxiety and this our fear now when you know. As I bring so who police in Ukraine so do it here. Now we have to show no. But what the ass or you know, and that person can help you. And quite a bit fast or me dealing with that situation. Because I did that's what show. Side DNA see a tremolo. Side DNA and that's what show when they create side into court, never seeking help. Who was seeking help or be the right help. No your help, I'll be society in a baby. It be free.
Doctor, may I say another final question? Doctor, I say, okay, my child is facing this kind of problem at school, but I'm scared to go there because I feel like when I go to the school, after that it's going to be worse, or they're going to maltreat the child. What is the best approach?
Yo, into the American when they say you have to protect your child no matter what. Because parents will lay down their lives for their child. That much I know. And was all go school. And was all making appointment. And go school home go share will ban it teacher no. Teacher no need to me be a go school and go share will ban principal of the school. Why the school no reso? Your appointment ne share the pakro. Uko drew wa catch the pakro. Ma ban about instances as I deal with see. And son of a bruni on make sure so what will be our paper so and have some dates with it. Into who can what conscience and that say me that's say any see ye. Why your she and that say any see ye, why your she me banner a miserable with school has say a cause anxiety problems and mammy banner me banner best school crowd will slow so we who are the crass so much on twins ya said they can no I need you to take action as the principal. Now, I said, my principal, not to say, since I've addressed this issue, and me you know, the catch them say it's continuing, and because of that, you all have retaliated against my child. Then we will have to take it to the next level. And what is that next level, principal? Like I said, principal, the next level is to take you all to court and sue you. End it that way. The next thing you know, everything goes away. I dear Brunin pan is okay, so be soon. Because so soon, you know what's going to happen. The principal will have to be fired. The teacher will have to be fired. They'll have to deal with those children. They don't like that publicity. And no one to know, take it that step. You have to go to the school. Because if it negatively affects your child, it will affect that child throughout our life. and a bit to me as say abofrano. So take that step, go to that school, and you tell them what's up, and then tell them at the end that you're going to sue them if they don't do anything about it.
Wow, doctor. Doctor, Obidia, I say Obia or no during war, and then the parents, it's like anytime obe take gunshot and I say a sound piano, none of your machine. In this case, then obey my a be free.
Yo, auntie, there are certain things I'll be trying to calm yourself down. You've really be meditation. The name of what is that? So what's not falcon. Now won't really be but what's not falcon. Now won't you only positive thoughts. We'll spend about 15 minutes a day and not pack any in your brain. Another thing is yoga. So practicing yoga is also it be calming your body it down. It will reducing the amount of anxiety near the hour. It will be a form. Another thing I'll be trying to say we call counseling. Counseling, it makes a real difference. It makes a real difference. And therefore, probably to me, any massage. And so I become massage to our doctor. Say, is it okay for you to get a massage therapy? Say, unfortunately, won't you inquire massage because of COVID-19? It is our train. However, nearby will be a counseling day. Your virtual counseling, counselors, so it should be a counsel virtually. So you have that option of doing that. It will be a counseling. Yoga so more yoga programs be phones so apps be and also so you have that option as well. You can incorporate all of these. I bet me a boy now relaxing. Why?
Doctor, may I say what answer question here? Doctor, another funny question. I say okay about the counseling. Unfortunately, counseling is over white people now.
Okay, into counseling, yeah, white people yeah, counselors. Into once again, it's our health insurance. Call health insurance for our website. Look at people's names. There's a place I'll be to be a doctor, no. So what shall I say be a doctor say MedStar or what? No, I say MedStar. Ni photo beba. Doctor be or yeah, do hospital be now what clinic be no. Or what picture usually no. We call online, pull up on the website. The person's picture will come. The picture put out ma who Google doctor di dim kradia. The picture paper. Photo the back country so you bruni and now you bibini. So you have an option. And hold on, you can choose the black person and not choose the white person. Maybe I know we have choices. I didn't know. Yeah, well, Ghana, any choice. So it's abundant. Doctor, for the baby, if this one acts up today, you fire that doctor. Now fire also so I catch it and they say, I am firing you because you did this and this and this and this. And I'll put it on your review. No, I'm working out. Doctor, I don't think you're supposed to be a job. It's up to you to Google these people and see their pictures before you make a move.
Wow, doctor, may I say one send ye on Hiniba coffee, or we see PSC, that's why I join here. You man know a full Moses, so I join here. Yamisha, doctor, mini baby, you say about students. But some from studio, there's some from Miami South, so meet to me and so her. I say about the student scholarship. Any better recommendations?
Okay, student scholarships, it's really up to you as a student. So what high school will Chrome has say
Doctor Bacho, 1 second, one year question to the beer to us. I say I'm saving for the students' future college. I'm saying 529 now can once.
No. Okay, just go to your bank. Bank be our 529 program, maybe. Ain't baby, I will save you beyond. Yame pa juadano. Meaning, some banks they say no. Banks people has say and son because just our appointment because of COVID-19. No. Into which me have a phone. Now our friend want make an appointment. Now the bank for casa. And ask if you all cross, they say you can even talk to someone on the phone and then ask the person questions. Say, oh, I saw setting a 529 account, how can you go about in doing it? Or maybe our Palani information, or maybe also information, or maybe how much you would want to put there, or maybe how long it's going to take our bank account. So all of this, we to be a busa, financial advisor, or maybe our information in or move real, be can't baby, so enroll into no website, or call which we enter information in and was set it up. Now with the World Bank account, I share probably your routing number, any account number. Said it be to be a easy kind of free account on a monthly basis towards about a 529 account.
Wow. I mean, I'm sure said doctor answer ye until amount. Doctor, another thing, I say places are you like okay if I'm right, densely populated areas, no, I have blacks, no. Mostly those places are low class. What are their chances? And I say, what are the other ways? You bet me move every one of my places. Yeah, and it's true. It look like baby a blacks what and now tie low class. Huh. I to say you chroma Quebec is Zongo area near you know. Yeah.
Yo, ain't you know? Idea you bet to me up one say. So also if you live in poverty, now you don't find a way out of poverty. That cycle continues in the family until say obibe breaking sa poverty, right? And this is whereby people have to help. It's because people have to help her. Omo opportunities be brave for before now ebi omo conditions we through the school system any idea. But unfortunately for a lot of blacks omo our neighborhoods we omo school system no eye. If nobody knows, and the person will say, county now with team no, what taxes now with no, and you use for the school system. It is a what county any papa, a low income one, more income banusa. Into what taxes are moved to a day, and also into me support school system a year. Federal government but most of the funding is coming from the county. It is a wash and to know a wealthier counties, you know. Or public school systems better. Low income counties, no public school systems in it. But the good news here is America buying a one baby say, you remember a voucher. Now the voucher no aqua school system, papa. So when you pay bro ha, or would name sadie no. But it only comes from that school system. Say be a teacher and you bet me a can't so you know what? I have say them wow. Mo apply for voucher, obey them which video yes, sir. No never wow. Mammy be with DC in the 70s, yes, sir. It to be boy men when in neighborhood echo good schools. So once again, it's reaching out to these communities. Reaching out. Internet, once again, I bring the church in. The intermediate sorry the Birmingham say, who said before you pass on a pa, and I'm okay. Obey the body, and so maybe that was the other day, or sorry then, and then in young wedding. Or we are saying, then 7 or Ben money, we been over no one. Then so I saw them on quad your carpet now. The church is that the church can do so much, but the church is not doing it because we are thinking about ourselves as an individual. We are forgetting that we are a community. So it's time for the church members to step up and come together, right? Maybe that for the facts of sorry, maybe that does not mean so be a pastor coupon. Every I say that you could in your coupon chair women then because while meanwhile if you have then would you be concerned day. You are cross request would you be uncle concerned. If you have then would you be a academic day. And so you are cross request or no being academic day. So we can come together as one and make a difference. It's up to us to do that. Until we are willing, as God's children, to make a difference, the minimum, we will be sitting on our butts and people will be dying every day.
Ma, 2 questions, but wait, you know, when you have a question, also, okay, I say, and we'll save money be secured if the child gets a scholarship. Say, scholarship.
Yes. Okay, so the good news about 529 is say Apalani in your full scholarship. And once again, if your child gets a scholarship, there's still some things you have to pay for. Scholarship ain't Emma will ban free with fee and go school. So what I say, scholarship for tuition, room, ne boarding, and no there's a scholarship ne cover. And so ban so be free for your school. Oba no be here so beto tony ma odi be ko school ana meboa.
Yes.
Na tadi odi be ko school. Obe here semina, obe here toothpaste, obe here sheet or be send them pass all those basic things no. Akwala ne be de obe here. Scholarship bi o ha akwala ne betumi use sika ne bi ato. Laptop. Scholarship bi bi o so a bi a so laptop. Into those things, you can still use that money from the 529 to actually pay for that. Graduate school. Into that money is still sitting there for the child to use towards education. Over your friend is saying in other ways. Into getting a scholarship doesn't mean it covers everything. There's still cost to the parent at the end of the day. And another thing, so I didn't scholarships, walk school. No. Me a source of the pocket money kakra. I know to be a baby to me up one. I know cell phone and I'm a one. Into the cost incurred on all of those things. Into will behoove you still obey yes our savings. No. When your scholarship no cry and near marketing get you obey here. No. Obey to me a use so sassy can out the towards that. I feel so on maso swat for fra. Necessary kind of way you sitting in you can also use it for the other children.
Doctor, that's it. Doctor, where's the other? I say, doctor, my concern is this. This racism, is it not chronic? Do you think is it going to end?
Well, you know, racism is chronic. It can end only if we stand up. That's the only way it can end. Say, because injustice everywhere about MLK do kind. Say, you know, be a kasabakata many, it will never end.
Right.
So let's go back to slavery, right? Abraham, slaves. So there were some slaves who said, I don't want to be a slave anymore. I'm going to run away, no matter what. And a lot of them escaped, right? Harriet Tubman or Bar, she escaped. And until drew Pennsylvania. That's quite a ways off.
Yeah.
But she walked. Sabra and Mark would be any hope. Be any hope. But Omakacha is to follow the North Star. Follow the North Star. Or follow North Star no drew Pennsylvania. Nina was how willing she was to be free. And that's what propelled her. She came back and freed a lot of slaves. A lot of slaves. Racism has been chronic, but we need to stop it in its tracks. Until we stand up and know, nothing would happen. Slavery, because people stood up. When it came to the 60s, civil rights, people had to stand up, right? For a year to end. Nobody in Kramaini idea before so won't mean to not restaurant a brony. You have to go through the back door and all of these things. People had to stand up for that change to come. And see, we need to stand up for that change to come. And once again, I'm urging all of you to start running for offices. Meaning, may say, Michaela Bibini running against any Hoya, and can maybe running against any Hoya. But Minia Bibini is already doing it. So I'm going to help her through my donations. I'm going to help her through calling people to encourage them to actually vote for her. And it is time for us to start running. It is time for us to make a difference. School board on Kwame, you can make a huge difference. I will probably bring him, sir. You can make a huge difference by volunteering with school crowd. And no crowd make a difference. You get to know people. By going to these town hall meetings, you get to know people. Start calling your local legislators. State to be our one or a senator, our what state level. Mebwa, Obia was senator on the state level. And yes, I make us all more court to say federal level. State Nankasini was state elected officials. Find out who they are. Start calling them. And you may hear no catch the warm. Make an appointment to go to their offices. That's why you're there. They're there. Keep in mind, your taxes are paying for these people. Trump will crown tax they
Of course.
What tax they taking care of White House? So why should you let someone that you police if we your taxes they to your worker and so move queen? Ain't he say kasa? Say you had it in the area tax that was our queen. And you enjoy tax need to and most way die you come. Oh, obi will cry your friend so me serve with jury swap on beso obeko. Or ya or kwa no akoka bibi. Nature say I'm selecting for to be a juror. Maybe I know it helps you to learn about the law, what the process is. I had an opportunity to sit on a jury. Now I learned so much because that made me how the whole system works.
But we come 3 times.
What's it?
Mako 3 times.
I learned so many. And I judge you so compare the ones that no me as 4%. Now you could abrofu mienu bi nipa bonifu bi na ye bibini e na ne na semwaba na abrofu ese chinchina into ye hang jury. Just it took so much and I also answer na obeko jury dem they explain at the crime nipa na ye what this means, what that means, and based on that they make a decision based on this. I learned so much. Meaning, there is so much we can learn and we can make such a difference but we don't want to because we don't want to get out of our comfort zones. We need to get out of our comfort zones. This is a protesting. Honestly speaking, Ghana was saying they go protesting. Maybe we say you go protesting. And now say you're in terms of this, you're protesting. And you're going to now be. So, but we don't do it. Because to us, no, who Christian who go protest here? I said you're going against God. But I said Jesus Christ was a radical. Wasn't he?
Yes.
No, sorry, them got 10 tables. No, I'm sorry. He called the Pharisees and the, hypocrites. Didn't he call them that?
That's right.
And so say, yeah, who's will be great protest? Yes, yo. As they say, no, I'm saying, never so much say. Me have to say that, baby. Sadiana, yeah, and Obi, I be being yet. That's a one who ain't sending the shoes. And I think, sir, until say, the thing has come to our door, and you will say it's serious, right?
That's right.
Until say we have experienced it ourselves, though, and you will say this is a problem. Say we see it from afar. So I'm always saying, I'm not wishing that someone in the 70 Adventist church should be killed by the cops, but maybe it has to come home for us to really feel it, to say, Sadia way is serious. What if I say way by no? I mean, it's some or would say, no, we not the SDA for. But I want to make the Adventist church. But I'm making a point. The point I'm making is I say way by North American division, your president has made a statement. South Central Conference, or no, so I make a statement, right?
Yes.
Allegheny Conference, I make a statement. Wouldn't him say, yeah, General Conference President Ted Wilson, one do make a statement here. And also I say, happy Sabbath, happy Sabbath. I hope everything is okay. Happy Sabbath, happy Sabbath. Someone has died. Black folks are going through a lot. Happy Sabbath? Really? This is a day I don't want to say happy Sabbath. And I think it's okay. I really don't want to say happy Sabbath. I don't care about your happy Sabbath today. Because that's not what I'm thinking about. And I'm not defying God. Happy Sabbath? I don't care about happy Sabbath. Because I'm not happy. Right?
That's right.
Make a statement. Say, at DNS, we feel for our black people in the church. We understand what you're going through. And we're going to work together to bring about change. But to say happy Sabbath? I'm sorry.
Okay, Doctor. My last question, right? I know I'll wrap up on mine. Doctor, Obi say okay, unless you are attaining higher positions. But here's the case, places like to say DMV, MVA, immigration, all these places, China for but blacks and I say Africans, it looks like say yes, about these places. What is preventing us from going to such places?
Also, I didn't talk about higher positions. The catcher will say you can start from the school board chair, any higher positions, still at the local level. Why am I okay? What's so called immigration? The idea. If we something country myself, China, a human one, no say human you good at. So I will follow be no actually on one in your about, right? Spanish if we do the same thing. Okay? Spanish news will say, you know what? A human makuya. Spanish you know actually on any Spanish near the China who's or Chinese kasa, right? And they like people who speak a second language because just in case you will be ban one tibro or no be to me actually the same thing with the Spanish person. Yes, so you're free Africa. And I'm going to talk about my Ghanaians because we know about the Nigerians. The sad aspect in the say, ye kasa no krano, ye new wusi ye kasa.
Oh yeah.
Get over it, people. Get over it. Because whatever you do, where you Ghanaian, woka tree, woka crime, woka iwe, woka fante, woka hausa, woka dagoma. A asset. Sometimes it's not an asset. It is an asset. It is a real asset to have that second language. Adentra said ye be ya wono se ko basa ko ye adwuma immigration wo nua Ghana ni ba no no ntebrofo a One will bet me a church and I say, Uko DMV, now what's a whole year, Juma, no bad one, see, I'll bet me a church and I say. When we complete these application forms, we should put down, say, we speak a second dialect. It is to our advantage. Let us start getting into these roles. When him so what internship be never out. If you have me said, if you come and collect you, sorry. I work on a real college. If you home so student trainee, immigration, so student trainee, district attorney office, student trainee. Yeah, man, get into those things. Because when him said, DJ, yeah, they say, me bano eso ye be great.
That's right.
Me bano es didn't call out no be able so me bedroom say me buy you say. But we don't think about a near maybe to me I get your mano into the federal government system. Immigration, DMV, money apply for those positions. Akwala ne kwa en kakra you be promote no be rise here, be rise ba be ye penny mu e den e we adwuma mu ho. So let us encourage our children to get into these roles. Many anom. Maybe go, dynamic. My nephew back friend no Sam said, Auntie Vera didn't come about future and the future near. Then I'm saying, you know what, Kobe? You know what my goal is as Auntie Vera is to be a VP of a corporation. Wow. And the only reason why I want to be the VP of a corporation is so that I can bring every family member of mine into that particular corporation. Because we are VP, a lot of control, right? To me be bring. So you can draw other people in. So Mobi any addresses here, Kobe be a veteran crop waba. ABA initially never con fill the application at ABI fano, but still no dear. We say who for fra, San send the comedy pacono, no a fail it, and crank, Yanko be a comedy pacona about the shepherd. Sabaco be shapa, now fair be before from bar, near Saye, near your day, near Sartrin for Friday, Abba. Medjumemu, may not name Sagana for you or Haway and penny 4 power medjum, never name sa. You about a friend of Kumafo, or Basel, Switzerland. Where you're a director of medical affairs for the entire Switzerland, of a world, and yet, Basel, world medical director. Now, me call LinkedIn and me connect here with him. Bob, I was where your headquarters, your friend Christine Kwao, or also a medical affairs director for sickle cell disease in Ghana, Nigeria, and all these African countries on the in charge. And I know Mokasana, no Mokachem so. Or more junior who so more creating new role in that particular department. Into how many make a sign so I'm a good candidate for that. But over some of your projects, being a projects, no more finance, I catch up. So we need this person on our team. But you see, you have to also start connecting with people. LinkedIn is a very good place to connect.
That's right. Start
connecting with people. Start networking. Start talking with people. So that you can get into these roles. Because as we get into these roles and we move in, you bet me actually more people are there. Caution, I'm the man say, yeah, Ghana for no, so you could read remember me pacho. Wouldn't you have one more could yeah, Juma? But what did he say? One cocky would you know what's a word? Remember what?
We in a free.
But what did so would you not drew her no the wabano? One cocky can a home some uncle say, Emma Juman uncle say, Spanish if one yes, Chinese if one yes, or what will be free crowberry soon, or when yes, yeah, dear, your pa, you knew I could do the name. Nay, yeah, you ever see a train of buffum. Miss Ramo, that mentality of koto tuntuno, take it out of our minds. Na yenya koto koko te se bruni. Said your mindset has to be changed. In order for us to be successful, this mindset needs to change. It needs to change by getting an education, by reading. Yankin kind. Enti WhatsApp can be we don't read. Let us start reading, educating ourselves, asking questions. And no never boy, and be successful. More encouraging Manu, no go into these fields. Now Munjai said, Doctor Kwana who focuses on Banebe, engineer Kwana who focuses on Ebiana Banus want to be an engineer. On to be yes, our doctor now work on. But to be a political science and be good at it. Or bet me a graduate with a bachelor's degree in arts and go work for immigration or go work for the State Department and be very good at it. I then I will encourage you to explore what your child is good at. Instead of pushing them to these fields, woman to me, now a graduate with student loan, now so you pass no way.
Doctor, yeah, that's it. What video the about was it? Thank you so much, Doctor. Yesterday, my Jewish patient told me she wish she has a second language. Even Jamaicans are united.
Yes.
Or they say reading is a toxic to Africans.
Yeah.
Wow. Dr. Emsa Madrago more. At this time there, my grace, my late. What will happen? Say this year we are muko play back over YouTube and our Facebook. Doctor, this time the major amount now what someone what wrap up on mine what we talk about today because and at the end there they different. Sam Jackson, that's also what joining. Yeah, they are different place, but all the same. Chronic issues near the idea being a doctor. Explain your mind. It's a doctor major man or wrap up a man. MC take you time, but for chain.
Yo, and Madam was and no, I was angry, and it's okay to be angry. MC I idea so Christo need to be more boof. Or young boss, yes, Bible castle wait to me well boof, but you don't let the sun go down on your anger. So it's okay to be angry. It is healthy to be angry. It's okay to express your anger. And I do be a whole do about so to be express your anger. The only time I anger, and it's all about you be a bit causing harm to another person. And now it's a continue forever and ever and ever. I'm angry just because of what's going on. They are killing our children. They are killing our black boys. They are killing our black women. They are destroying our lives. Or more causing a lot of chaos, a lot of diseases on us because your stress levels, they say, so as your stress goes up, your levels goes up. What is happening? They say, body, the immune system will start going down. And we are susceptible to so many diseases. Hypertension becomes a huge problem. Other diseases, to say diabetes, type 2 diabetes, also becomes a problem. Because then what happens is you start eating a lot or eating unhealthy, and therefore you become predisposed to these diseases. And so that should not be the case. So we shall. Even COVID-19, you could buy a kume before more, and before a real so you're more. And so America had your population, before population in the entire United States of Ghana. And also, then so you're real way buying, ye more, ye more. Why is the problem? Because there's all these disparities. Oko hospital, we are through hospital. People are not taking you seriously, right? We feel so, oh, I did I can hope why you exaggerating. So I say pain or crying a wound and walk hospital so pain. They think say you exaggerate, they are not attending to you. I can give you a good example. My husband got appendicitis. We had to take him to the hospital. Your control and the pain was 10 out of 10. Yet today we are not there for almost 15 minutes. Or we are buying. You know, or my life can almost do more bomb pay medication. But I'm sorry, call nurse station. I said, you know what, excuse me, my husband's pain is 10 out of 10. Nobody came here. Or so we're coming. No, so no, you're not coming. You are going with me. You are not coming. So what I say, or say, I am coming. No, you are not coming. You are going with me now. You're going with me now. That's what we're doing right now. Pain medication, and she walked with me to meet my husband room, and then gave him pain medication because I wasn't going to take it. I didn't have time to do that. It is time for us to stand up as black people. The fact is that won't mean Cabrofo doesn't mean anything. Spanish you want to mean Cabrofo. And so go through to be can do obeka quite you kind of body obeka. So we're not brofo to be kind of social pay interpreter. They do have interpreters. Obey interpreter amount. It is fine. But we have to stand up. We'll school. Now, planning your challenges with school. In Crawford discriminating against you with school. Teacher for are not taking, paying attention to your child. We'll be for your ex or cast mommy. Me call you now, allow way me say. Me call you way me say. And so no parent will say, yes, she, a bay okay. Yes, she, and you're okay. Cause school, when the principal, I don't go to nothing, Cassa. Catch a principal and say this, what's here? It's here, that's it. If they don't do anything about it, you're going to take them to court. You're going to sue them. They don't like that. On the court, they'll take care of it. The problem will be resolved in a blink of an eye, in a twinkle. Who are solving problems now? We have a problem. If you say, Manu, America. Say no, they are Americans. Whatever we do, our children are Americans. They may not go back to Ghana and stay there. Maybe I retire. You best your crew, but your man or your war, so they may want to stay here. How best? Dear baby, to me, equip you or to me, a durable 2 feet, or to me, support each other as other black people bond together, become one. Said you be to me, standing up and also run for elections at the local level, school board, city council, Run for these positions. Go to town hall meetings, parent-teacher association meetings. Go. See, abro will ballot here. The abro will mail will vote. Census completed. Meaning, it is important. If you know funny, maybe so. Maybe a win here. No, actually, census ni here. So one complete census now. See, can you remember counting? No, yeah, farmer no. Ebia na wo fie nipa be 7 na wo so one complete census form no it's only nipa 7 they've lost out on so many things say ka wo complete ya and can be able to make a difference. It makes a difference. Let our voices be heard. Ade na ekoso wo kro ha and yet they are constantly killing us. The church is silent. It is time for the church to stand up. Timidity is not good in the kingdom of God. Timidity. See, so when your bread was a when your bread wasn't. Not in the church of God. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. Timidity doesn't work. Sikana sorry no more pegu egu no. Onyankopon ba tena eye paper. So this is the time. Use the money to help. Join organizations like the NAACP. Join Black Lives Matter. Join Urban League. Institute to honor. I therefore from it to me, make sure you're investing in your children. You're leaving wealth for your children. So they can stand on their own 2 feet and not have the white person push them around. So okay, dream na dream you good. But what you saw about you people from so they are dream more. Now me say more so ye twuma kwa dream me pa mo cho. So ko drew ha. Me ko wo nua na ase. Said ye be ya or no lose na dream because of war. And never be over. We don't think about it. I therefore from me kind of the church when they say me pa mo cho. Stop saying it's getting annoying. They are no different from us. It just so happens say obi na be for free Africa and you omo ba hase. That's the only difference. Police in Ichiwa o musa say free Ghana. Question o musa oda on the onim so ye bibini. Amadou Diallo o free Mali. Wapo adwuma be fie obedru fie ne aduane ni fie New York City ni ku no aduane ni fie and also me koto aduane aba. O peer free ne fie si abontia police for 41 bullets. 19 of those bullets hit him. So he was even dead and they were still shooting. Set almost obi a commit crime in neighborhood hall. They just assumed say or no. He died. For free Africa. Police police for them was so when you're African in no. Intimacy, we are all one. If we not respect those Black Americans. Respect them. If it says a woman I'm sacrifice woman life one. Because you and I would never be in the United States. Step back. Stop that. Be united. Be one. Make a difference.
Doctor, Yedasi, Nyami, Ain't different colors, one people. Africa, we need to unite. Black people, we need to unite. FK mentioned Nyamisha, so what joining? Doctor, what can say me now? Doctor Nyamisha, any time when you're my and you're behind your diabetes new in Kwa. Mommy Grace, I said, Doctor, I love you. Even the word, what's it? Even the word akata in general is an insult. And don't cry at him, wow. I say, please, we are people. Don't use that phrase on them. Yeah, that's it. Aye. Or no, say they are or the other one. And for you and your health, Juma dear, and then bro, Dr. Vera Kuffour Manu, and an initiate. There be our the apomodinqua, and then they were blending in our to say, oh, you're dynamic. I love this woman. We're too much. Oh, baby, I'd be Fabia, whatever. Simon, Yamisha, doctor, one more hoarding, nature mine. Said a bear, bit me upon in a brain. Or for some kind of hope for live radio, and was a good son. The sky is the limit. And then Yamiadum, Doctor Amia Hunyoma e Kwasu. Mummy, here, Huye, Yentenefi, Corona Abadia, Yentenefi near protect home. Baby, out here, so said the doctor kindly say, we need to help each other. And this is a Tennessee wedding and family. A you for Nanya, and ye, and countdown. Say countdown, Gabuns, say a quino, netane. Aye, and yes, Omunania, a bayin in a ba. Say, yeah, sorry, so woofy, or he, yenina, yenya, dear, name moying. Yamisha, so in your break, a became, and you miss no auntie and can, not said a kind. Dr. Kuffour Manu ana yeteninka enwumre no. Mo questions no am say information is too much nti na yetimi fa no nyina bi worum so ana de waka ho asem dada nti na ehia se mebusa. Ba we email brain and I send it brain ye de be money later no why ama. Ukunya go back to Hope for Life your Facebook your YouTube and now your website one ma bibia egu onum live ubetime nya time no reading. Nyame aduma ye be say share biem. Nyame sure so be kan ho.
So we are baby at Obuasio. If I see him, I did do Nina, where will I do it? As I say, I just see you over. So we are baby at Obuasio, better from. If I see him, I did do Nina, where will I do it? When this I got to run director. Now I'm glad the woman and master. Then someone from his young Puma. A very many dear. Sakatira Suro director, now Bogla the woman and master, and someone from his young Puma, a very many dear. I'm very afraid I was some good also. I saw the calibrate of and for us already. Some was your young Kuponi, a very also no Gagra, Mrs. Adamo, Mumpiam Rabantis, and I'm going to make a busu some way. Some see one young Kuponi, I've heard your shaking and one Gagra, Mrs. Adamo, Mumra Bantis, and I'm going to make a busu some way. Najanimia, Mumra Miss Yankopoa, a very many dear. Najanimia, Mumra Miss Yankopoa, a very many dear. China for sorry, I was in Buddha. India for sorry, I was in Hindu. I fed the bunny and do the moon for a mabusum one way. India for sorry, I was in Hindu. Natana for so sorry, I was in Buddha. I fed the bunny and Panu for a mabusum one way. I found so for the casting and when you're dear to Mono. I found for the TV, so I'm with Manu. Coronavirus never know. No go solution, maybe I sing I would say you are so powerful. I found so for a money don't to someone more don't be or my mono. Be a man upon woman may ask all in coronavirus and man in I am mad. Coronavirus and as a foreign in I come. I go to see everybody, and you're come on, rather some come and be in a draw. Yamin Mamma Bayo. I can't watch it. A man in a Aradia can say, Can you woman, you're singing out so your young Ponti, Musono. Samosan and Imojamda Sajanimio Najanimia Mufra Missana Gopoa, a very many dear, I'm very many dear. Ezaba manyano wadro. Ibolaba manyano wadro. Afe coronavirus na banu wa Kristo for jimba ibo. What's it? Ezaba yanyano wadro. Ibolaba yanyano wadro. Afe coronavirus na banu wa Kristo for jimba ibongo. Abuonya gubanu masam na mudiwi asinchechenya ntanya muna musuzuze. Ubefa muwediana. Endi za janimia. Mufra misanya ngupoma. Afe imani diye. Usura nyangupoma. Janimia. Janimia. Mufra misanya ngupoma. Afe imani diye. Very many dear one. Very many dear one. Very many dear one.